What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Finance King Network. If you guys don't mind, subscribe to the channel. Right now, we're going to get into why, in my opinion, AITX, Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions, once again, ticker symbol AITX, will have one of the biggest short squeezes in recent history. We're going to get into an article written by David Stone. Right now, before we get into this article, we're just going to get into just a few basic reasons of what the company's doing. You guys can look at my other videos months before to see all the information that you need about AITX, everything that came out this year, because it was huge news after huge news after huge news on AITX this whole year. Just to give you a handful of them, just a few. We signed up customers like Six Flags, like 7-Eleven, like CVS. Right now, as a starting growth phase company, we already have, I'm going to repeat it again, Six Flags, McKesson, CVS, 7-Eleven, and about 20 other huge companies already known about, verified, signed, stamped, and sealed, that are already using these products. And we're only at the startup growth phase right now. We had partnerships with Ghost Robotics announced about 2 months ago, which I'm going to probably take you guys to the Ghost Robotics headquarters within the next couple weeks or so. We have news after news after news after news with this company. And once again, we're literally just at the beginning. And we have people that dedicate their whole lives, like I've been telling you guys this past week, their whole existence to shorting AITX, to bashing AITX, because they know that this squeeze is coming and it's going to be hard. But this squeeze and AITX is going to ruin a lot of shorts' lives. It's going to ruin a lot of their lives. And we're going to get into why. We're going to get into right now 10 signs of an upcoming short squeeze. There's a lot of money to be made in a short squeeze. But if you have the time, there's a lot of money to be made in a short squeeze, but if you have to time it right. Here are 10 signs that a short squeeze might be imminent. Number 1, your stock is trading near 52-week lows. AITX right now is trading at 52-week lows. Generally speaking, good companies shouldn't do this, especially if the indexes are trading near all-time highs. Almost every stock is part of an index, either a total stock market fund or a specialty fund. As money flows into these stocks, managers buy stocks. In a news vacuum, if people buy stocks, then stock prices go up. This is basic economics. If supply goes down and demand goes up, then prices almost always go up. If your stock is trading at a 52-week lows, then you need to investigate why. If the answer is because of stock manipulation, which explains AITX for this past year, right? Stock manipulation. Because when you have news, good news after good news after good news after good news, and the stock has been doing what it's doing, there is no other explanation. This is not rocket science. It's really not. It's not rocket science when you go on chat rooms and you see lowlives dedicate their whole lives to bashing the stock. It's not. You see the same thing on TTCF, CRSR, Beyond Meat. These are all winners. They get bashed 24/7. 24/7. You guys understand? They only attack winners, but AITX, you never seen before what you see with AITX as far as the bashing, right? And you will never see a short squeeze like the one coming with AITX. So let's keep going. Once again, if you guys are not aware, AITX just announced today, put it in their articles of incorporation, that there will be no reverse stock split minimum till January 1st, 2024. And this is all they've been saying for the past year, non-stop typing 24/7 about a reverse split, which the CEO just shut all that down. So they're basically whole last year went down the drain just by that piece of news. So let's keep going. Because of stock manipulation, then you could be looking at an upcoming short squeeze. All stocks have a fair value price, which is a factor of their assets, liabilities, and future prospects. If you suspect this is out of alignment, then you must figure out the fair value. That's your minimum target squeeze price. The thing about markets is that prices always swing too far. When prices drop, they always drop too much. When prices go up, they always go up too much. This can be attributed to hysteria, panic buying, and panic selling. Eventually, the momentum eases and prices settle back to their fair value. It might take a while, but prices always settle. In the long run, it's impossible for a great company to trade significantly below its fair value. It has dropped too much, then the snap back to reality can be vicious. Number 2, high short volume, high short interest. AITX had as much as 73% short interest, short volume, 73%. 7, 3, 7, 3. 73, right? Percente on AITX short volume. On an average, it's about 50. Right now, they're getting a little shook. They're getting a little scared these days. So still about 30%, which is huge. Let's keep going. How high is the short interest in your stock? Is it over 20%? 30%? It's been 3 times that this whole year. Is it over 20%? Because that's around when you should start paying attention. Some stocks have a higher short interest, maybe even 30% or 40%. The higher the short interest, the more vulnerable a stock is to a sudden short squeeze. I'm going to repeat. We get as high as 73% in December with AITX. Let me read that to you again. The higher the short interest, the more vulnerable a stock is to a sudden short squeeze. When that short squeeze comes, it comes like that. That's why these shorts and paid bashers, you see them scared to death. Weekends, holidays, they have no life either way. Like I told you guys before, no wife, no life, no kids. They'll be on there either way. You understand what I'm telling you? Because they're scared to death. Because they know once it pops, it's going to come hard. And it's popping hard. And they're not going to have time to cover. Not even a little bit. Let's keep going. Remember, the pendulum always swings too far. As stocks keep dropping, sentiment keeps getting worse. Eventually, the shorting of a stock is seen as free money by inexperienced investors. That's a major indicator that you're near the bottom. Nothing is guaranteed in life. If everyone is saying company is going to zero, but based on your research you disagree, then it might be time to load up. Let me read that to you one more time. I got Broke Bob, a dude that literally calls himself Broke Bob, for the past year has been telling me there's going to be a reverse split. Steve just shut that down. For the past year, he's been saying literally, once again, another one, no life, no wife, no kids. In my comments, it's going to zero, it's going to zero. Listen, daily. He's watching me daily. It's what he's telling me. So let me read this again for Broke Bob, right? As stocks keep dropping, sentiment keeps getting worse. Eventually, the shorting of a stock is seen as free money by inexperienced investors. That's a major indicator that you're near the bottom. Nothing is guaranteed in life. If everyone is saying company is going to zero, but based on your research you disagree, then it might be time to load up. So if a company is announcing deals with CVS, with Six Flags, Ghost Robotics, McKesson, 7-Eleven, and people saying it's going to zero, people that call themselves Broke Bob, it says it might be time to load up. That's what it says here, guys. Let's keep going. Borrowing costs keep getting higher. When you short a stock, you must first borrow it from someone else. To do this, you'll have to pay interest. This cost is influenced by the availability of shares to short. Borrowing costs are updated frequently, maybe even to the second with your broker. Whereas short interest is only updated twice a month, so borrowing costs are something to keep an eye on. If borrowing costs are getting high, this might mean you've reached the bottom. Pardon me, guys. We had some technical difficulties. My apologies. Got this thing balanced on a candle holder over here. All right, where were we? If borrowing costs are getting high, this might mean you've reached the bottom. If there are no more shares to short, then the only way the price can drop is if a large amount of stock is dumped onto the market, either by a holder or the company, as in they do an offering. Number 4, sudden drop in borrowing costs. I'm going to skip this one. We're going to get to the spicy parts. Skip number 4. I'm going to skip number 5. Let's get to number 6. Upcoming major catalysts. Short squeeze are often triggered by catalysts, news, events, major developments, product approvals, breakthroughs, etc. Does your stock have one of these coming up? When your annual general meeting, what's on the ballot? Has a large shareholder put forth a proposal that would significantly change the company? If you're hoping for a short squeeze, then there needs to be a catalyst. People don't start madly buying stocks for no reason. If you're betting on a short squeeze, you must be aware of everything that's coming up soon for the company. Each catalyst has a probability that might send your stock to the moon. Know these probabilities and trade accordingly. AITX has huge news after huge news after huge news every other week this whole year. Nothing but non-stop catalysts last year and this year. So besides of this year's catalyst, we're going to catch up to all the catalysts that came out this year. You think the price is not going to catch up to all the news that came out this year with this company? That's not even taking account everything that's coming up this year. Besides everything that came out last year, we got this year coming up. You guys got to be able to put two and two together. Once again, you guys could check out my other videos for all your info on AITX if you're new to the stock. But I heavily suggest you take a couple minutes out of your day and do so. Let's get into the next one. Number 7, stock is trading at a huge discount to competitors. It's a big one. We have no competitors. We're creating our own industry. What's that company's name that's IPOing this month? Nightscope, right? Nightscope. I haven't even checked the market cap or what they're coming out at. What's their offering price? But I haven't checked that. Because Nightscope is not our competitor. They have 4 products that equal 1 of AITX. Just 1. Just 1. Their Romeo equals their whole product line. We're going to see what Nightscope is valued at, but to me, it's even irrelevant. They're probably going to, open 20, 30x higher? That'll be great for AITX. But truth be told, I don't care. AITX, even if Nightscope is 10 times more valued, 20 times, which is good for us, I don't care either way. Either way, it doesn't matter to me because Nightscope is not a competitor. There is no company out there right now that can compete with us. There is no company right now out there that can compete with us with what they're doing. Let's keep going. Imagine you run a lemonade stand. You sell between 20 to 30 cups of lemonade per day. Wall Street says your business is worth $10,000. They offer you a buyout of $15,000, which you decline. Your neighbor also has a lemonade stand. They sell a similar number of cups per day. But Wall Street says this lemonade stand is worth $25,000. This is a large discount in the price. When you ask why your neighbor's lemonade stand is worth more, Wall Street makes up some excuse like, we don't like the color of your cups, or their management team is better. But it's a lemonade stand. It can be run by an idiot. And your market research has determined that customers don't care about the color of your cups. And since you buy your lemons from the same grocery store as your neighbor, the product is nearly identical. This happens with companies all the time, but it's less obvious because billion-dollar companies are more complicated than lemonade stands. Overwhelming sense, number 8, that something fishy is going on. When you follow a particular stock very closely, then you know what I'm talking about. Bizarre price movement becomes extremely obvious if you've got your eyes glued to the chart every day. Is your stock always red? Are the message boards... Is your stock always red? Mind, just my first time reading this article with you guys. Are the message boards always invested with trolls and low quality posters? Mind you, I didn't write this article. This is my first time reading this. And I've been on here this whole year telling you guys about these paid bashers and trolls that we have on the AITX and StockTwits, and they're everywhere now, right? They're all over every room that has AITX. Is your stock always red? Are the message boards invested with trolls and local